Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Rod, your boy, SideQuest, back here with another video. I'm wearing these sunglasses because I got my vlogging light on, so it's a little bit harsh on my eyes, so just to protect myself. I want to make a new video telling you guys some tips for traveling. I'm going to Japan next month for 3 weeks. First time going to Japan. I'm back here in Bangkok, and I figured after going to 28 countries, I should give y'all some of my favorite traveling tips that I've come up with. So I wrote a list here. My handwriting's pretty legible. I'm going to just paraphrase most of what I wrote. We'll go from there. So the number one tip, Google Translate. When you go into a new country and you don't speak the language, download that language before going there. Let me give you an example. I went to Colombia for about 2 months earlier this year. Don't really know that much Spanish. I can get by ordering food, asking for directions, stuff like that. So I downloaded the Spanish language before going to Colombia on Google Translate. That helped me immensely. So in Colombia, I was actually able to use Google Translate to communicate to my Airbnb host, also at the grocery store, and to flirt with women at bars and other social events that I was at. So it really does help, especially nowadays when we have technology. Imagine just 20, 30 years ago, there was no Google Translate. People had to just kind of mimic and guess what people are saying to them if they didn't have some kind of translation book or anything like that. So Google Translate is my number one travel tip. All right, number two. So use resistance bands to work out at hotel rooms. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. When you're traveling, one of the biggest things that's really hard on your body is not being able to work out, all right? You wanna keep your health up. Going on planes, trains, cars, different countries, wherever you're at, it's hard on your body. Just ask anyone that travels for a living. And my favorite thing is I have more resistance bands, but I'm gonna show y'all just two right now. So here's like a little tinier one, and here's a thicker one. And then you can go on youtube.com, right? Look up Bully Juice 30-minute resistance band video in your hotel room. Do the workout right there, full body workout, and you'll be set. You want to keep your body strong and healthy when you're on the road. That allows you to do more, allows you to see more, allows you to have more energy. When you start traveling, you realize very fast that if you don't have a good diet, if you don't maintain yourself, you're not going to be able to do as much as you want to. That's why you have to stay healthy. You have to work out. You have to do something to bring your body to optimum health so you can do optimum travel. Make sense? Another thing to build onto that is this is cheap, easy, and you didn't have to look anything up. A jump rope, all right? I got this from Decathlon. This was about 270 baht, I believe, at Bangkok. And all you need is a PVC cable. It's one of the best workouts you can do. Full body, hits almost every muscle group in your entire body, and it's very low impact. You can also do it every single day. You can get a six-pack from just using a jump rope, believe it or not. Trust me, guys, you're gonna want to invest in that. All right, number three is to only bring a wheeled carry-on bag and a backpack on flight. Bring as little as possible when traveling for long periods. So basically, the longer you're traveling, 6 months longer, the less you want to bring. Let's say you're going on a 2-week excursion, 1 week, whatever, you can bring whatever you want to have, you know, bring as much clothes if you're a fashion person, all that good stuff. But the longer you go, the less you want to have. Always remember that. So right here, I have my little Carhartt backpack. So I'm literally just wearing this on the plane, all right? And then I have my wheeled carry-on rip curl bag. This is like a 35-liter bag. I got this for about 2,500 baht at Central World, half off at the Rip Curl store. And this is perfect. It just goes, has the little handle for the wheels, or the handle to pull, and then here are the wheels. And so it opens just like this. Let me show you guys. Bam. Oh, here's some earplugs. But look. The reason why you want to carry as little as possible when you're traveling is because you don't need that much stuff. If you have more clothes, if you have more shoes, you have all this random stuff, it's going to hinder you from going out to experience more in the world. Trust me, I always have this issue. I always bring way too many clothes. So my thing is, my rule of thumb is just 2 pants, 3 at most, 7 socks, 7 pairs of socks, 7 underwears, maybe 3 short shirts, 2 tank tops, a jacket, and then that's about all you need, right? Now you can bring your hygiene bag and all that, but just the bare essentials, all right? Trust me, the less you bring, the more you get. Always remember that. All right, so number 4, my number 4 favorite tip is to bring earplugs for flights, trains, and basically you need it for sleeping, all right? Whenever you hear people being too loud on the flight, whenever you hear kids crying, these are gonna be your best friends, all right? I got these from, these are, I believe, 3M earplugs. I got a nice big pack off of Lazada for like maybe 60 baht. And it will be a lifesaver because when you're on the road traveling, unless you have a private plane, unless you're traveling by yourself, if you have the money to do it, you're gonna be with other people, all right? And sleep is gonna be hard to get. There's gonna be people being noisy, being loud, coughing, crying, like I said, with the babies, all that good stuff. And whenever you're in a plane for 2 hours to even 12 hours, that's the time you should really wanna be sleeping, all right? You don't wanna be tired at your destination. You wanna be tired on the plane. You wanna focus on resting your body when you're not moving. And I have an issue with that too. I honestly, I watch too much movies on planes. I read too much, I do all this stuff, when I really should just throw in some earplugs, try and get some sleep. Then when I get to my destination, hit the ground, boots riding, right? All right, so number 5, my number 5 tip, all right? Only bring one pair of shoes. So earlier this year, I thought I would wear like flip-flops and nice sandals that I have around the beach on Greece, in Crete, Greece. And honestly, I only wore the sandals once out of a 6-week trip, and it just took up too much space in my bag. Even though it's just flip-flops, it was just too bulky, too much. I don't need it at all. So I honestly think people should get just one pair of good shoes that can go hiking and hit the city with. These are my Merrells, size 13, barefoot. And these are the high top versions. They have a low top version, but I love these shoes because I can take them straight from the trail to the city. And they have some really nice traction on the bottom too. So you can actually use them for practical use compared to not practical use. Let me give you an example. Like my friend, he loves Jordans. And while Jordans are great if you're playing basketball, they're not great if you're hiking up a nice mountain slope or if you're walking through the city. It's just not, it's not made for that kind of use. It's not practical in that matter. It's practical for basketball, it's practical for fashion, but it's not practical for walking 10 to 20 miles a day, which I've done in the past, 5 to 15 miles a day, just walking through cities. So I learned my lesson, never bring in a flip-flop, because if I'm gonna be in a beach area or somewhere where I'm gonna use flip-flops, you can either buy a cheap pair there or just nix it all together. Just nix it and just wear your shoes to the beach, take off your shoes and socks, make sure they stay all right, and then if you need to, dust off the sand from your shoes when you get back to the hotel room. Number 6 tip that I have for you guys is to download books on Apple Books or Google Books. It's to save weight and travel space. So I read a lot. If you guys don't read, I feel like you're missing out on a fundamental part of life. You can learn so much through finance, travel, all that good stuff through books. And also, I love science fiction series. Here's the thing, I'll go on the plane, any plane, anywhere, any train, and I'll see people with some giant tome of book. I saw this woman reading The Great Gatsby, hardcover, it was like about this big. But when it came time, it was an overnight flight from Tokyo to Bangkok. I could tell that she didn't want to put the lights on. She put on the light for a little bit, but then everyone's starting to go to sleep, so she took off her reading light. And the people that were able to read without bothering anyone else around them were the people that had their Kindles or books on their phones. So I actually used to have a Kindle. I still have a Kindle. I've had it about 11 years now. But the thing is, my Kindle, it wasn't able to work to my, it wasn't able to link my new bank card to my Amazon account. So I forgot about the Kindle, and I realized that it's an extra thing to have. It just takes away when I don't need it because I can have books on my phone. So I've actually read the full Mistborn series that is out right now, early this year, all on my phone, and I'm working on the complete Malazan Book of the Fallen series right now. And I love just having the books on my phone, like I said, to save weight, especially when you're on the plane and you have everything for entertainment right here in your hands. You don't need an extra book, you don't need an extra tablet, none of that good stuff. Keep books on your phone, download movies on your phone too, all right? Just everything should be on your phone. Technology is there nowadays. You don't need to bring extra weight. When you're doing long distance travel, you want to have as little as you possibly can. Trust me, I always mess that up. So my number 7 tip is to ask the flight attendant when you're on the plane to raise your armrest. So it's something I learned when I was a kid. I like being comfortable on the plane. Sometimes I take first class flights when I was in the military and I was able to get upgraded for free. Now I haven't taken a first class flight in such a long time. But if you're able to raise the armrest, you can, if you have no one next to you, potentially you could do a little lean over, you could lay down perhaps, or like me, was what I like to do is raise my armrest, sit in the aisle seat, and then bam, mansplain. Just open my legs up, have more room. And then the flight attendants will come down the aisle, I just move my leg. But just being able to do this makes it so much more comfy on a plane, especially for long distance travel. So I always get the aisle seat in a plane, because my thing is I get up and I go and I stretch, I do yoga poses by the bathroom every 30 minutes to an hour if I'm not sleeping. And that helps the flight just go by so fast. And people never really consider it, that just raising the armrest will be that much more comfortable. So I kind of jumbled a whole bunch of my tips together, added some nuance in there, added some random riffs, but hey, I hope you guys like the video. Hope you guys find these tips helpful. I'll see you guys in Japan, all right? Take care of yourselves. Bye.